Before you sign anything or finalize your divorce, stop and listen. Because the truth is, not every spouse plays fair. Over the years, I've seen people walk away thinking they got their fair share, only to find out months later there were hidden accounts, secret properties, or quiet transfers they never knew existed. This is one of the most common and most painful mistakes people make in divorce. So today, we're exposing the hidden property tricks your spouse might be using through the who, what, when, where, why, and how approach. By the end, you'll know exactly who might be doing this, what to look for when these tricks happen, where the assets go, why they're hidden, and how to protect yourself before it's too late. Who's behind these tricks? Let's start with the who. When we talk about hidden property, it's not always just your spouse acting alone. Sometimes it's a team effort. I've seen family members, business partners, accountants, even close friends helping hide assets. For example, your spouse might transfer property ownership to a sibling temporarily or create a fake business partner to move money around. In some high net worth divorces, they even bring in shady financial advisors who specialize in asset protection, which is really just code for asset hiding. But don't think this only happens among the rich. I've seen people hide as little as a savings account or an insurance policy because they wanted to keep something for themselves. The point is, don't assume honesty, verify everything. In divorce, the person you thought you knew can become the person who hides what's yours. What exactly are hidden property tricks? Now let's talk about what these tricks actually are. Hidden property can take many forms, and it's not always about houses or cars. Sometimes it's invisible, like a crypto wallet, a secret PayPal account, or business income that suddenly dropped right before the divorce. Some of the most common tricks include transferring assets to friends or relatives before filing for divorce, underreporting income or creating fake business expenses, delaying bonuses or commissions until after the divorce is finalized, overpaying taxes or debts to hide money temporarily, and even creating shell companies that look like nothing on paper, but own everything in reality. Here's the scary part. These tricks are often perfectly timed and carefully documented to look legitimate. On paper, everything seems normal, but underneath it's manipulation disguised as strategy. So when you hear phrases like "that account isn't active anymore," or "I already sold that," don't just take it at face value. Check the records, not the words. When do these tricks usually happen? Timing is everything in divorce. And when it comes to hiding property, most of these moves happen months before divorce papers are filed. Here's how it works. When a spouse senses the marriage is heading toward an end, they quietly start moving things. Maybe it's transferring funds from a joint account, selling a vehicle to a friend, or suddenly closing down an investment portfolio. In many cases, they'll start creating paper trails that make it seem like these assets were gone long before the split. That's why the best time to pay attention isn't during the divorce, it's before it even starts. If your spouse suddenly becomes secretive about finances, starts handling paperwork privately, or insists you don't need to worry about it, that's your cue. The trick doesn't start in court, it starts at home, quietly. Where do these hidden assets go? So where does all this hidden money or property actually end up? In some cases, it's as close as a separate bank account you never knew existed. But in others, it's halfway around the world. Offshore accounts, shell corporations, cryptocurrency wallets, these are the new hiding spots. I once heard of a case where a husband transferred property ownership to a fake company in another state and paid rent to his own company just to make it look legitimate. Another common tactic? Buying digital assets or collectibles, things that don't always show up in a traditional asset search. Sometimes it's even simpler. The hidden assets are in plain sight, under the child's name, in an insurance policy, or in the form of a loan that will magically get paid back after the divorce. That's why every financial record, transaction, and asset needs to be reviewed with a detective's eye. Hidden doesn't always mean invisible. It just means disguised. Why do spouses hide property? Now let's get into the psychology, the why. At its core, hidden property isn't just about money. It's about control. Some people want to win the divorce. Others want to punish. And some are just terrified of starting over with nothing. I've seen spouses who felt betrayed, so they thought, I'll take what's mine, even if I have to lie. Others convince themselves they deserve more because they earned it. But whatever the reason, the result is the same. It destroys trust and prolongs the fight. There's also a practical reason: greed. Some believe if they can hide it long enough, it'll never be found. But with modern digital forensics and court-ordered disclosures, these tricks rarely stay hidden forever. And when they're discovered, judges don't take it lightly. Penalties can include fines, losing property rights, or even jail time for fraud. So the why may seem emotional, but the consequences are very real. How can you protect yourself? This is where you take your power back. The first step is awareness. Don't rely on memory. Gather documents, bank statements, tax returns, business records, property deeds, insurance policies, retirement accounts, everything. Make copies, store them safely, and keep them organized. Second, hire a forensic accountant if the stakes are high. These professionals can trace money through complex transactions and uncover patterns that a regular lawyer might miss. Third, monitor changes. Look for sudden withdrawals, new accounts, or unusual spending. Even small shifts, like paying a new consultant or buying expensive items in cash, can be red flags. Fourth, stay calm. The biggest mistake people make when they suspect hidden assets is confronting their spouse emotionally. That often pushes them to hide things even deeper. Instead, play it smart, gather facts first, act later. Finally, trust the process. Courts have discovery tools, subpoenas, and penalties for dishonesty. When you come prepared and organized, the truth has a way of surfacing. Remember, protecting yourself isn't about revenge, it's about fairness. Divorce is already painful, but losing what's rightfully yours because of hidden tricks adds insult to injury. So if something feels off, don't ignore it. Investigate it. You worked hard for what you built, and you deserve to walk away with transparency, not betrayal. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who might be going through the same thing, because awareness can protect someone from losing everything they earned. And if you want more straight talk like this from real legal insights, subscribe, stay informed, and never let anyone outside